Today, we're talking about Mesh Shield and all of its mechanics, or at least most of its mechanics. This video is going to be going over basically everything about Mesh, from its usage, its health, how much damage, like how damage itself works on it, including that number right there that you just could use, and even some like additional things about it. If you like this kind of content, be sure to give us a like, comment, some subscribe action, as we really do appreciate it. But yeah, you guys are probably pretty used to this kind of format at this point. I just wanted to mention, you know, we do have a Discord. You guys should totally join the Discord, because like we like having people there. It's cool and stuff. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Now, there's two important things to note with Mesh Shield. One of those being its like cooldown period, or its cooldowns. What do I mean by that? I'll show you. So for starters, let's talk about how Mesh actually functions. So, activating Mesh like this, specialization, will bring up this massive shield, and with this massive shield you can walk around, jump, all that cool stuff. We all know this, right? What this also allows for you to do, you can block enemy fire. Go ahead and shoot me. You can actually block enemy fire like that. If you have teammates, which I don't have a teammate right now, but if you have teammates, they can shoot through the shield and, well, shoot the enemies that's trying to shoot you. It works out pretty well like that. Now, there is two important things to note about Mesh Shield. One in which is this kind of like cooldown that it has, and this is a little bit interesting to explain, but I got you. Which, by the way, if you notice, this is not the same person who was here previously. That's because I'm re-recording this because I didn't like how the original came out. So, yeah. Anyway, so what I mean by the cooldown thing. So if you notice, that tree just went fucking yeeted. So if you notice, you have 750 health on your shield here, right? But if I were to deactivate the shield and then reactivate it, it goes down to 500 and it regens. You lose about 200 each time you activate and reactivate, but it regens over time, as you can see right now. This is important to note because if you reactivate, it goes to 400, reactivate, it goes to 200, but if I were to let go now, I basically couldn't activate it again because it's 200. Also, this is a weird glitch. That's awkward. This cooldown, though, is to kind of prevent mesh juggling, which was a thing a couple of seasons ago, and it was relatively annoying, but it was pretty cool. I think it was a pretty cool tech. But this to kind of prevent mesh juggling because it was kind of frustrating to fight against and all that jazz. But you still kind of can do it. You just got to be more aware of your actual like health values, because obviously, sure, you can like let go and all that, but if you're getting shot at, like, go ahead, shoot me a little bit. If you're getting shot at and you try to do it like this, you got to remember you only have 32 shield now and it's broke. You know, you just wasted 200 health to reactivate it. You got to be more careful about how you're juggling your mesh now. And last thing I wanted to mention here is that with the cooldown thing with the mesh, if your shield were to like fully break or fully like run out of charge, it takes a really long time to get all that back. Like, I'm going to speed this up for you guys, but let me show you what I mean. Like, go ahead and shoot me. Oh, reloading. So now it's broken, and now I want to speed this up for you guys just to see how long this takes. But yeah. And we got it back, full health. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how long that took, but that had to be like a minute plus, honestly. But yeah, you don't want your shield to run out. Be careful when you're mesh juggling like this. Be careful when you're blocking bullets. Just be careful. You don't want to run out of shield. It takes forever to get that back fully. And now, back to the original video. The second thing you want to take note of is the health of the mesh shield. And that is honestly pretty simple to explain for the most part. The health of mesh, which ignore the audience casually counting down. We'll catch you guys in a moment. So what I mean by is health. So, god damn it! So, what I was trying to say, as you can see, I have 750 health on the mesh shield here. Now you're using deagles. shoot me one time. I lost 44 of HP on the mesh shield here. Now, I am going to put on the screen now damage and all that stuff, and you can see that deagles do 44 to the body. Now I'm going to show you just some other weapons just to kind of show that it's not just deagles, there's other stuff too, so 1 second. There you go, 20. Okay, and now we go like this, and now you have KS, go for it. Yep, crispy 100, yep. Now you can see that it's all, you know, body shot damage every time, and that's just kind of how it works. With this in mind, it's just kind of something that you kind of like take note of when you're blocking damage for your team or whatever. Like when you see them using like Peter and KS or whatever the case may be, just know the harder hitting that weapon is, the more your shield's gonna go down. Just keep these things in mind, especially as a sniper. Sure, a sniper shoots pretty slow and stuff, but that's a lot of damage, you know what I mean? Now let's talk about mesh and shield placement. So you probably already know this, but you can move your mesh up and down. Woo, who knew? Who would have guessed that? But something that you got to take note of is that if you do move it up like this, you kind of leave your bottom exposed a little bit. And that's important because that allows people to be able to shoot you. That allows for like explosives like a frag or something to come in and just like do damage. Like go handle like a frag or something. See, shit, I went downstairs. But like, use like an RPG like right in front of the shield. And as you can see, I still took chip damage. Actually, I still took full damage because it went straight below and hit me directly in the legs. So it's just something to take note of. It's like, the placement of your mesh shield does matter. You want to have it like at least something like this where it's on the ground level, where if any kind of explosive were to come by, you won't just die, you won't just hurt your team or anything like that. Like, you have another frag now, looks like. Yeah, see, like that. I took chip damage. I didn't take as much damage still, but I still took damage. And taking damage as a heavy is bad. It's not like you shouldn't or expect it or anything. But if you was already weak because you meshed and you already weak or something, that little bit of damage will literally just stop your health regen. And you don't want that. That's really bad. You don't want to. You don't want that. Now I do also want to show that your mesh shield can fully block a frag as well as an RPG. So what we're going to do is we will have Delvon here casually throwing a frag at me. And as long as you're like just looking at it or whatever, and you have your shield like placed properly, you'll be able to, that full tree, you'll be able to block a frag fully. Now if you have RPG, go ahead and shoot me directly with it. And similarly, you can block an RPG. Like, it's perfectly fine, you can do it. I've seen a couple of people on Reddit and some in Discord that say that you can't block an RPG or explosive with it. You can. It's just the splash damage, and like, I mean, if he say shot it behind me or something, I'll take damage, right? You can't block if it's behind you, but you can block whatever's in front of you. It does block those things.
Voting for you?
Yes, it is. So next, I want to just talk about some situations that you might find yourself in if you're a mesh player. One, flamethrower. Just don't. Please don't try to mesh against a flamethrower. It ain't gonna work. This is what happens. You put your mesh up, go ahead flamethrower, you still get burned. You can block the so the way flamethrower works, just a TLDR, flamethrower has like its own damage, like its base damage, and then it has the flame ticks that happen and stuff. Essentially, you're still gonna get hit by the flame ticks, which means you're still gonna be taking that damage. Sure, you won't be taking as much damage, that is fair, but you're still gonna be taking damage. Like, go ahead, just hold it down fully here. Like, you can see I am still mitigating damage, I am still taking less damage, but I'm still dying. I am, in fact, still dying. In my opinion, it will be better just to not do this and to do something else I'm going to teach you guys in a second. But yeah. So another little fun fact I just want to throw in here too. So if you're going against a heavy that has Winch Claw, your mesh shield can't block that. So yeah, don't try that. And also, just on the same boat, if you're going against an enemy that has Winch Claw, and also if you're going against an enemy that has Winch Claw, your dome was also just as useless. Like, go ahead. It goes through. Goes through mesh, goes through dome. Just keep that in mind. This isn't a dome video, but I figured I'd throw it in there. So next, I want to talk about hammer versus mesh, or I guess any melee weapon for that matter. So this is kind of how it looks, right? You're meshing against a melee weapon, and if they're like at a little distance or something, you sorta can block it. Like, go ahead. Like, you see, you can sorta block it, you know? But the problem is, if they're a melee user, they're probably going to get close enough, and if they get close enough to you, well, even if you did this, you're still getting it. Like, sure, you can back up, but they're going to be on your ass. You're fucking dead. I would advise not trying to block a melee user. Just use your guns. Just use your guns. So now, let's talk a little bit about some techs that you can do with Mesh Shield. One being that you can slide jump with it. And slide jumping with Mesh is honestly a lot faster than just running with it. So this is what it looks like normally if you're just running, moving with Mesh. If you're sprinting, it's the same speed. You can't notice the difference. Right now, I am in sprinting mode right now. You can't notice the difference, it's the same speed. Okay? Just keep that in mind. You literally cannot notice the difference if you're sprinting or walking with it. It's the same thing. But here's the difference though. If you were to mesh and say you're running forward, but you're not sprinting, when you press your crouch or slide button, you're only going to crouch like this. And that's not ideal. You don't want to do that, right? It could always have slowing you down and whatever. But if you are moving forward and you're sprinting, you can slide. And you can slide jump like that. This slide jump is faster than just walking forward. And honestly, if you're meshing, I would recommend learning how to do this because this is far better than just moving forward. It saves you like roughly maybe a second or so. So I mean, it's not like it's that big of a difference. But if you're going like longer distance and stuff like that, or trying to get like, say I wanted to get over there real fast and just like people up here shooting me, right? I want to just move in and just keep on moving forward and take as little damage as possible instead of like me walking like this, looking up while they're just continuously shooting. By the time I get over there, I'm probably, the shield's broken, I'm probably getting shot at, and I'm probably dead. You know? So just something to keep in mind. Slide jumping is faster, not by too much. This is what it would look like if I was just walking forward. And this is what it looks like if it's slide jumping over here. Quite a bit faster. So next thing I want to talk about is a little, I don't really want to call this a tech per se, but it's something that could come up in some niche scenarios, right? So mesh goes through walls. As you can see here, the mesh is very clearly on the other side of me, but I can, if he was my teammate, I could use this as a kind of like cover in a way. If there's people over here, I could use this as like cover to shoot through or anything of the sort, really. And I want to say that I think this is kind of important to know for those niche scenarios when it could come in handy. Like say for example, like this happens, I won't say frequently, but it happens enough, right? Where like the cash box is up there and it ends up in this like over here in this little in this general area, right? In the event that this wall is still here or something, and say you have a light or medium going for the take, you could do this and low-key block them in the corner without even exposing yourself. And then if you wanted to, you could then, like when they start pulling in, because you can 3P, because you're, you know, meshing, when they start pushing in, you can then push over, throw a dome down, or whatever case you want to do. It's not exactly like, you know, something that you'll be doing all the time, but knowing that it goes through walls and that you can take advantage of this is it could be very useful for certain scenarios. But yeah, I don't really want to call it a tech, but it's something that you probably should know, so we threw it in there. Next thing is, again, this also isn't really a tech, but you'll be surprised to know people that actually don't know you can do this. So I'm letting you all know in case you're one of those people that know you can do this. You can zipline and also mesh at the same time. You can do this. This is perfectly legal. You can do this, and it's pretty helpful. Like if you're trying to push up here or something, right? There's a team up there, but you and your team needs to get up there really quick or something, right? You can have your heavy goes first, and then you have your entire team behind you while you're meshing up, and you can effectively push the guys on high ground like this. Obviously, you know, they could just break the zip line and stuff, but hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, this is something you could do to get a push going. Similarly, if you're on a jump pad or something, same thing. You mesh while you're on the jump pad and vibe out. And here we go, you know, jumping up, mashing, works like wonders. So last but not least, if you get glitched, or if you're going against glitches. So if a light throws a glitch grenade, or if someone throws a glitch barrel at you, you'll be glitched. And obviously getting glitched is bad because you can't use anything. But that's kind of obvious, right? What you need to know is that if you're using mesh or even your dome shield, is that if a glitch hits the dome or hits the mesh, it will instantly break and you will be glitched. So for example, if I do this and he throws a glitch at me, not only does it break it immediately, but I also get glitched. And that sucks. So with that in mind, literally no matter where the glitch grenade actually hits on the mesh, you will get glitched, period. That's just how it goes. So something you could take note of is if a light throws a glitch from like relatively farther away or something, like throw a glitch right now where you are. You hear that voice line? He said glitching things up, right? If you hear a voice line of any kind, like glitch inbound or glitching things up or throwing a glitch or whatever other voice sounds they are that relate to throwing a glitch grenade, the moment you hear that sound, probably just want to put down your mesh immediately and attempt to get away from wherever the fuck you are, because a glitch is probably coming your way. Obviously though, most times if a light is throwing a glitch, they're probably relatively close enough to you where you can't really do anything about it. But there are scenarios where, like, say for example, I don't know, he was up there for example, and say I was down here. If I heard the glitch, I go ahead throw it. See, I heard the sound, so I moved immediately. I heard the glitching some screens, so I moved. If you don't hear the sound, you can also hear like a little like swishing noise that the glitch makes. That's hard to kind of show, but just listen out for. They have like a little swishing noise that this glitch has. That noise there. If you hear that kind of noise too, you kind of get an indicator that the glitch is coming. But that's more stuff that's like you'll kind of get the handle of it the more you play and the more you understand. But yeah, just remember, glitch nades will kill you. Glitch nades are bad. Glitch nades are your worst enemy. You don't like glitch nades. You wish they would die as a mesh user. Yeah, that's honestly it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope this helped someone. Hope you guys learned something. If you enjoyed the video, give a like, comment, some subscribe action. And without further ado, we bid you all adieu. Take care and peace. Bye bye. Oh, I missed. Aha!